One of the most unique things, and probably one of the things we tout most when it comes to communities, we start our day all together as an entire school. We call it morning meeting. It's led by our student council, and anyone in our community can get up and address the entire body of school.
People tell jokes, read poetry, wish people happy birthdays. It's just a place for you to be creative in front of a lot of people, and it feels safe.
It grounds our day, it kind of starts our day in a really nice way, and then we move on throughout the rest of it.
In terms of helping each child reach their potential and find their purpose for tomorrow's world, you have to do that in the context of a community. And you have to do that by first knowing who you are in the context of your local community, and then you figure out who you are in the context of the world.
A lot of the work in the early childhood and in the lower school is really about trying to help them understand some of these social emotional skills.
Before we make those connections farther out beyond our classroom, we really have to look at ourselves and get to know ourselves before we can even look at other students in the classroom.
You start by connecting. You start by instilling a sense of belonging and value and making sure every child is seen and heard and known for exactly who they are.
We are all a part of this Wellington community, and we want it to be the best place that we can possibly make it, and everybody has a part to play.
The beauty of Wellington is its size. For a lot of our families, and actually a lot of our faculty members, we enjoy that our classes are small. So I can see and know my students as I teach them day in and day out.
It's different in that way. It's the right size to be able to have all of these super close connections with your classmates and your teachers. Everybody is kind of friends with everybody.
We work tirelessly to make sure that all voices are heard in any way we possibly can in many different facets, that sense of community is ever growing.
Coming into an uncomfortable environment and feeling safe and secure gives you the opportunity to safely explore things that make you feel uncomfortable. Being in classes that have difficult topics of discussion, try and put yourself in someone else's shoes is something that will obviously help you grow.
Revisiting this idea of what community means doesn't necessarily mean we all believe or think the same thing. But it's also okay to lean into that bit of discomfort and understand that we may have disagreements within our own community, but we can still lift each other up and support each other and show up every day and do this thing together.
When you're supported, when you feel safe, when you think you can be and know you can be who you are, that's when the actual wheels get turning. That's when you step outside the box and produce something that's sometimes magical.
You come here and you see everybody else with their guard down and feeling welcome and comfortable here, and that kind of liberates you to feel the same way.
So this is my 20th year at Wellington. I am an alum. I started in 6th grade. It was my first day at Wellington, and me being the nervous little child that I was definitely physically anxious and a little bit twitchy. And a student who was in my class saw that I was nervous, sat down next to me, and put his hand on my knee and said, "It'll be all right." And I've kind of taken that sentiment with me through Wellington, and knowing that that's Wellington's community. Once you're here, you're part of it.
So there are always ways that we are trying to foster connections and remember what is so special about being in a building where you have age 3 up to grade 12. That's really unique and presents a lot of possibilities.
We have a program that our 4th graders buddy up with kindergartners and help them navigate their first years in the lower school. And we also have a senior buddy program that seniors buddy up with lower school classrooms.
Our seniors love going down to our lower school classes. They love it. It's the highlight of the day.
I love that program. I love being a senior buddy. I love sitting down there and listening to them talk, because they will talk forever. We had a big party and we sat around and played with their toys with them, which was kind of freeing a little bit, because I enjoyed playing with those toys when I was a kid.
They're coming in and remembering what they experienced and drawing that thread of commonality. It's so important that they have these outstanding and amazing role models who are in their own right paving a path.
Everyone that I know who was here during preschool has said that their senior buddies were like the coolest people in the world and people that they really learned a lot from. And it's really rewarding to be in that same situation.
To see that joy on some of our most hardened seniors who think they're tough, to watch their senior buddies melt all over them, it's really, really sweet. So I just love being in the building. I'm gushing now. Get out of here.
Wellington's the I have an idea school. Having an idea, running with it, and being proud of what they accomplished.
It's very, very cool to be a part of something that a peer has created, and it's different. It feels different. There's more room to breathe, more room to be yourself.
To have not only those students see their idea recognized, heard, but then to also have the school say, absolutely, we are missing this, is really exciting. I think about clubs here at Wellington, they're robust. We have 35 clubs, I think, offering this year, and they range from my favorite being D&D to student government. Model UN, our Gender Sexuality Alliance, meets regularly. It actually has a separate club for those who identify along that spectrum. And to know that those student clubs are started by students who have a passion, who have an interest.
It's student-led, a lot of room for creativity where, in class you might have a specific assignment where you have to complete. It gives you a lot more room to do what you wish. And that allows you to connect with people who have specific common interests.
They're learning how to socialize. They're learning how to explore their interest, to know themselves and to get to know others, to spread that empathy.
The whole idea of helping to ensure that a child is known, valued, and feels that sense of belonging then translates to them being able to take academic risks. And that is so critical. It doesn't matter what that looks like. That shouldn't look the same on any one student.
And when we take an approach that values community, and we can help them to live into their potential, and that's the mission of the school, to help them find their purpose.
To try to guide kids as they are also figuring out the world to navigate is, I think, when we are at our best. The highs are highs. We all excel in those. We love those. But it's the care that Wellington takes when the world is not perfect and when we're asking really harsh questions of it that I think those are the moments that shine best.